Namaste, good evening. This is Dr. Aparna. I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist. I am on my pursuit to address, promote, and propagate Ayurveda and psychotherapy globally. In this discourse, I come up with different topics related to Ayurveda, mental health, psychotherapy, and related aspects. I act as a catalyst and support your emotional healing journey. I'm an emotional healing synergist and a passionate Ayurveda and psychotherapy infopreneur. So, in the last session, we were discussing about reframing technique, which is a core technique used in neuro linguistic programming. So, in continuation to that, see, in the last session, we were talking. I was, explaining about reframing. So, when I have to talk about developing the art of reframing in neuro linguistic programming, that is shifting your perspective for success. As I if you remember in the last session, I said that by changing your perspective, you can change your world. So reframing, a core new technique in neuro linguistic programming, allows you to see situation from a different perspective, so altering their emotional impact. So what are the important aspects to develop the reframing skill? So awareness. So to be aware is the foundation. Become acutely aware of your self talk and how you frame situations. See, notice negative or limiting thoughts and how they affect your emotions. So, pay attention to recurring patterns in your language. That is, do you frequently use words like can't, should, or terrible? Recognizing these patterns allows you to consciously reframe them. So, being aware is the first, step. Then cultivating curiosity, so approach negative thoughts with curiosity rather than judgment. So ask yourself, what's another way to look at this? This open mindedness fosters creative reframing. So if you're thinking in a negative way, just ask yourself, what's another approach to to look at this situation, or look at this event, or look at this circumstance. So this open mindedness, what it does, it fosters creative reframing. Next is emotional connection. Consider how the reframed perspective makes you feel. So, does it empower you or create a sense of possibility? So, choose reframes that resonate emotionally and motivate you to take action. So, we have to choose only those reframes that resonates emotionally with us, and they also motivate us to take action. Next is ecological consideration. That means ensure that your reframes are ecological. That means meaning they benefit you and others involved in the situation. It should be a win-win for both. So avoid reframing that disrespects the feeling or of others, or minimizes genuine concerns. So we have to keep all these things in mind while we you know uh, need to develop the art of reframing. So, here reframing, what it does is, as I already said, it helps you change how you perceive a situation or an experience by viewing things from a different angle. You can transform negative thoughts into empowering ones and unlock new possibilities. So, another important technique what we are going to talk about today is cognitive reframing. So, cognitive reframing is a technique used to challenge and change negative or unhelpful thinking patterns. Cognition means thinking. So the we are here changing negative and unhelpful thinking patterns in this. This is a main technique which we use in cognitive behavioral therapy. So, it is about shifting your perspective on a situation, event, or experience to make a more positive or realistic one. So, what happens is this can lead to more positive emotions and more effective behaviors. So, if I have to give some examples, one situation you can take is you didn't get the job you interviewed for. So, what is the usual negative thought? I am a failure. I will never get a good job. So, this is the negative thought. So, the reframed thought would be this job wasn't a good fit, but it gave me a valuable, interview experience. There are other opportunities out there that will be, a better match for my skills. So reframing this helps you to take, criticism or failure as a learning opportunity, and it will help you improve. So if for example another situation, so you get a bad grade in your test. So the negative thought is, I am so stupid, I am going to fail this class. So the reframe thought could be, this grade doesn't reflect my intelligence. I can study harder for the next test and improve my understanding of the material. So this is the reframed thought. So likewise, a next situation could be your friend cancels plans at the last minute. So the negative thought could be here, they don't even care about me. That friend, that friend doesn't even care about me. I must have done something wrong. So the reframe thought here is, maybe something unexpected came up for my friend. I can try to make plans with someone else or use the time for myself this time. So this is the reframed thought. So, and the next situation could be you feel anxious about giving a presentation. So, the negative thought could be, everyone is going to judge me, I'm going to mess up. The reframed thought could be, public speaking is a common fear, but I'm prepared and I can do this. Even if I make a mistake, it won't be the end of the world. So these are, the examples of, the negative thoughts and how we can reframe it. So by reframing your thoughts in a more positive or realistic way, you can manage stress, improve your mood, and boost your confidence. But cognitive reframing takes practice. It is a powerful tool for managing negative thoughts. So here there are some steps how to start. So first step is to identify the triggering situation and negative thought. So scenario is, you are at a networking event, feeling shy and awkward. You have a negative thought. So, for example, you are at an event that, suppose it could be a networking event. You are feeling shy and awkward. You have a negative thought that everyone here seems so successful. I will never be able to compete. So this is that you are identifying the triggering situation and the negative thought. So next step 2 is to notice the emotions. So identify how the negative thought makes you feel, anxious, discouraged, or inferior. So the negative thought is making you feel either anxious, either it is making you demotivated, discouraged, or feel, inferior. So the step 3 is challenge the negative thought. So ask yourself, is this thought completely accurate? And will I never be able to make it? Is this thought completely accurate? Are there any alternative explanations? Is it because of my mind thinking this is happening? This could be, a thought. So we are analyzing the thought by challenging the negative thought. Next is identifying cognitive distortions. That means look for common thinking errors in your negative thought. In this case, it might be mind reading. That means assuming what others think, or assuming that what others think of you, or what others are talking about you, or for. So these are the common thinking errors. These are also called cognitive distortions. Next step is generate reframed thoughts. That means consider alternative perspectives. That means there are probably other people feeling shy here too. There are many people who feel shy here as I am. So I can focus on making small connections and learning about others experiences. So this is the generated reframing, reframed thought. So next is evaluate the reframed thought. That means, does the reframed thought feel more realistic and empowering? Yes, because there are other people who are hesitating also in the event. And instead of having that negative thought, why not focus on making small connections, talking to people, communicating, learning about others experiences, sharing your experience. So the reframed thought is making us feel more realistic and empowering. So the next important step is practice the reframed thought. So after you actively challenge, the negative thought, whenever it pops up, and replace it with the more positive reframed perspective. You have to keep practicing the reframing technique. Whenever you have a negative thought, you have to actively challenge the negative thought whenever it pops up, and you have to replace it with a more positive reframed perspective. So for example, so you receive a critical email from your boss. The negative thought is, I am a terrible employee, I am going to get fired. So the reframed thought could be, this email highlights the areas for improvement. So taking criticism as an opportunity for self development and learning. So I can schedule a meeting with my boss to clarify expectations and develop a plan and address the concerns. So this is the reframed thought. The next example could be, you have a fight with your significant other. The negative thought is, we are always fighting. So this relationship is doomed. The reframed thought could be, disagreements happens in relationships. We can work through this issue by communicating openly and finding a compromise, finding a win-win situation for both. So, the next example could be, you miss the bus and you're late for work. So, negative thought that is going to be there is, everything is going wrong today. It's going to be a terrible day. So, the reframed thought could be, missing the bus was a setback, but I can still apologize for being late and focus on having a productive day. And next, from the next time, I'll be on time. So, we have to always remember that cognitive reframing is a skill that develops with practice. So we have to be patient, be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress as you learn to challenge negative thoughts and cultivate a more positive outlook. See, bonus tip here is you can start journaling. You can identify the negative thoughts and you can just start journaling. So when you journal, you are conscious about your thoughts. So you identify the thoughts, you are aware of your thoughts, you identify the triggering situation, then you notice the emotions, then you are challenging the negative thought, then you are identifying cognitive distortions, then you are generating reframed thoughts, then you are evaluating the reframed thought, and then you are constantly, consistently practicing the reframing technique. So, this is the reframing technique. And thanks for staying tuned. You can post your queries and share your perspectives in the comment section. So, thanks for watching. Namaste.